Hi everyone, welcome to Curve 20. I'm Cody. This is David. That's Zach. That's Josh. Today we're going to be talking about what food mascots or what type of D&D characters. Who wants to start us off?
I had a pretty good one, I thought. So I was thinking about this. I thought Mr. Peanut, if he was a D&D character, would be a bard without a doubt. And specifically, I think he'd be a College of Eloquence bard, if I've ever heard of one.
It's the monocle that gives it the eloquence. Is that what you're saying?
That and the cane, the pairing of them both, like that's a man with eloquence.
Plus,
Is
he'd have what's it called, expertise in like performance.
it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Persuasion,
he's
performance,
a gentleman.
a
He's
gentleman,
probably
and a
got a
scholar.
high con because he's probably not allergic to peanuts, right? So,
Absolutely.
you know what I'm saying?
That's fair. Some
Yeah.
immunities,
Some
or
of these,
resistances.
yeah.
A little bit more out there.
Probably vulnerability to fire. 'Cause
Tougher
you
shell.
don't want him to get fire roasted.
What's
You know.
what's the out there take from us?
I think the out there take is still kind of eloquent if you think about it in a different kind of way. A swashbuckler rogue.
Like the cane is a sword.
You know,
Like
Oh,
sword?
you know?
could do that with a little bit of College of Swords bard. That way you still keep the bard, but you take that little extra like flavor.
He gets up and close. That's like the melee version.
Mhm.
I like it.
Ooh,
Like maybe before he settled down his empire, when he traveled the seas looking for his recipes. When he really
that was the young Mr. Peanut.
exactly he gets the cane later, but it started as a ranger.
Good day to you, my son.
In his older time, he just enjoys finer music and wine and just wants to sit there with his
And snack on some peanuts.
Yeah, I agree. Zach, what do you got? Do you have any?
My first choice, it was a little bit difficult to think about, but I was going with Mr. Pillsbury Doughboy.
Okay. What do you have for him?
Now he's a big fella. Big fellas, they're generally fighters, barbarians, or bards. I feel like that bard fighter is perfect.
Okay, but he gets super ticklish. So he's having like a super low. Isn't the pose where you touch him in the stomach and he goes, ah!
Yeah.
He's like super weak in his stomach area. Like he's got
Yeah,
a
maybe he
weakness.
got shot by an arrow and he's like, "Ah!"
No, I like that though. He's absolutely got some bard in him. He's a silly little guy.
Hear me out. He could be a barbarian bard mix, because since he is a doughboy, he can take in all that damage. He's just had a He just laughs.
He
it
does
off.
have resistance from bludgeoning, slashing,
You know
and
what I mean?
piercing
He
damage.
just laughs it off, but since he's charismatic and a happy little guy, he just takes all the damage and then just talks straight and just goes like, I'm not as cooked as you are, because he's a doughboy.
I like it.
I like it.
I like
That's
it
a good idea.
Josh, what is your first one?
I first thought like cereal, so I went to my boy Tony the Tiger, and he's just, to me, has to be like your quintessential like D&D barbarian fighter kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, let's go do it, team. It's great kind of stuff. It's nothing too sexy. I think probably Battle Master, because there's different like techniques he can go through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's getting the kids all rallied up to go play soccer.
Exactly. Command,
Leading the formation.
like commanding strike, all these other things. But he's like, I just think he's like your general down, like middle of the road kind of fighter.
I get that. Maybe a champion fighter almost too,
See,
sort of. Just
Ooh, yeah.
it's the vanilla. Just
He is very vanilla, but it's like, it also is like, well, what do you want to flavor him at? Is he Tony playing soccer? Is he Tony with the great axe? Is he Tony? You know what I mean?
okay.
But he just thought it was just like a good intro character for class.
What about you, Cody?
I have the Quaker Oats Quaker. I think it's obvious that he's a cleric. And I think that he might even have like a little bit of monk in him and the whole like piousness, like I'm shutting myself from the world. I think he's like 1 or 2 levels monk and a whole bunch of like life cleric.
You don't see paladin though?
From the Quaker?
Yeah, very lawful. You follow my law, or you're expelled from my community. You get out of here.
Bring nutrition to the people.
I know, but it's like you
You
got to
don't
eat
think
rice cakes or
violent
you don't
enough,
eat.
I feel like clerics would shun people from their community too if they didn't follow like their goddesses or god of law.
Look, I think he was. Look, if you put the Quaker into like some oatmeal, like chocolate chip oatmeal kind of stuff, then he's a paladin, because he's forcing the good nutrition down the road. But he looks like a Quaker oatmeal raisin kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's a suggestion.
What's your next one, dude?
My second one is the Kool-Aid Man. I think that is a barbarian through and through.
Oh,
He maybe a zealot barbarian. I was trying to think of the clap, but it's like he's getting reborn. You drink him and then you just you refill him like he is ever living.
Plus, that glass, like that beaker's gonna get smashed, and eventually he's just back at it
Yeah,
again.
building a new one.
Yeah.
He's good. Side question:
yeah.
Is the Kool-Aid Man the jar or the juice?
I think it's the jar because
It's the
there's
jar,
videos
right?
of it with him losing some of his liquid and he's still the
He's
Kool-Aid.
still good, right? And so
Yeah.
I think he's the jar.
Yeah.
That's
So
just
somebody-
So
like,
what happens if the jar
maybe
gets
that's-
broken?
Maybe that's just a bigger metaphor for man. No, yeah, but I agree. Definitely barbarian. You just popping through shit, breaking down
Destroying
doors.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Walls,
oblivious to
walls, doors,
destroying-
and fences don't matter to him.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
What is that, Dane Cook? Oh no, Mr. Kool-Aid Man. Going through your front door. What do you got next, Zach?
We got Chester Cheeto.
Oh,
Ooh.
Chester.
Now,
Ooh.
I definitely think he's a rogue, but I need some advice on what kind of subclass.
I agree with that. I think it's tempting to say bard because he's so suave, but I think he's almost too suave for a bard. Like I think it's the rogue for sure.
See, I think it's Arcane Thief because he got a little bit of magic up his sleeve.
He is a little
bit of that
magic,
cheesy
dude.
dust, you know what I mean? It's not easy.
He just
Cheesy.
pops up out of nowhere
That's
sometimes.
what I'm saying. And he has all these like weird little.
He's
like,
got
missions
invisibility.
too, though. Because like think about it, like he can ride a skateboard. You can do a bunch of like all these like random activities too.
I feel like adult Chester Cheeto hangs out,
Probably.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
but he's a little bit creepy.
Like he's on his phone in the club.
Maybe.
Hey, I'm that guy. I don't do clothes.
It's, let's see that.
What do you got?
I got the hamburger helper.
Like a little floating.
yeah. And see, that's the fun of the hamburger helper. It's really how you want to build it. Where does this story come from? I like the idea that he's genie, path of the genie warlock that has all the power of the world in his hands. But somehow, between like him not being very clever and not asking it, he ended up as a very powerful hand. So
Like maybe he was drunk when he asked for his wish and he like slurred his words a little bit.
Yeah, that's the fun part. You got to figure out all that is, but yeah, I like to think of him as kind of like a corrupted wish kind of thing. And then if you multi-class, it's hamburger helper with cheese because that's the extra sauce.
I love that so much. I my only thing is if it's an NPC, I think it might be a Fae.
It's 100% fair.
100%, right? Like that. If we can
It's a floating-
NPC stat
Yeah.
block it,
Yeah.
that is
100%.
absolutely.
Although to be fair, most of these are probably phase.
What if
Right.
That's probably true.
what if he was a warforged? He was made with love and a
Ooh.
balanced budget. You know,
I love that.
Sometimes that pot gets a battlefield out
As well as spade artificial.
there. See,
Is he just a warforged artificer with an experiment that went horribly wrong?
Yeah, that's a total different take on it too. He became his
He's
experiment.
honestly a lot more versatile than I thought that he was.
He
Wow.
flies. He obviously has access to the fly spell.
Artificer messed up Bigby's big hand.
And
Messed
it's-
up mage hand, and boom, he is the mage hand.
Okay.
He's the hamburger helper. Just
That's your
mage
character,
hand.
it's just somebody's mage hand. That's-
Can you lift more than 5 pounds?
I changed mine last minute. I'm gonna do Lucky the Leprechaun from
Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms? Okay.
I think he's like a sorcerer. He's got all this innate magic that he's always casting off and doing all these crazy spells and like enhancing his spells or quickening his spells.
He has plane shift.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He's teleporting those kids to different
Mystic
dimensions.
Step, right, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's now what type of sorcerer? Couldn't tell you. Wild magic. Probably?
Wild magic,
Yeah.
I think.
So
Because there's things happening to him where he's getting teleported when he doesn't want to.
yeah.
You know?
Well, He definitely has low dex because he's always found out he fails every stealth check.
100%.
Kids find him every
And they beat him to the goal every time. Yeah.
Very
What if
strong.
he's a wizard in that case? Instead of a sorcerer, his magic ending,
Mm.
it's all from his lucky charms. He studied his lucky charms for years.
Oh, I didn't think
decades.
about
And
that.
that's where his magic comes from. It's not from his lineage. It's from his goddamn lucky charms. And you think he's going to give those away? There's only so many charms out there.
I like it. I like that actually a lot.
That's really good. That
It almost
explains.
makes me want to go Dragonborn wizard though, because he's like coveting so much his hoard of Lucky Charms.
Well, and it also makes sense in that like the fervent nature of which he's going after those lucky charms. Like I can't let those kids get it. They're gonna get too powerful.
Does
He's like,
They can't know what I know. They can't have my power.
exactly.
anybody have any last minute on his last minute?
I mean,
Honorable mention?
honorable mention: Jolly Green Giant is like a giant barbarian or a Storm Rune Knight.
Like a Rune Knight?
Yeah,
Right.
like gotta be.
What would the Nesquik bunny be? I could not figure anything out for it.
Ooh. I think it's a druid.
The druid?
But you don't
Also-
see it change shapes at all.
Well, it's because of the bunny, I guess.
It
I
could.
don't know. Probably too
I
basic.
mean, it's chocolate. I couldn't. I kept forgetting the name of the brand, but it's the bunny for the yogurt.
Yoplait?
The animals?
Oh, is it animals?
Is it?
I don't know.
It might be,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Sounded
but
like-
again, another bunny.
I feel like bunnies are hard because
There's tricks funny too.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Trix Bunny's a bard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
That was the one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
I kept thinking the commercials was like tricks are for kids.
I don't know, but if anyone out there knows what the hell a waffle crisp is, I don't even know where to start with that one. So
Waffle crisp.
You tell us
you
your
hit me up.
favorite.
What is a waffle crisp to begin with? And if you can build something off that, I'll love you.